Hi everyone, what's up? It's Haley. Welcome back to my channel. Hi. I don't really know why I turned on the camera, but you know when God just tells you something and it's just like really good, and like it's like so good that you know like you couldn't have just come up with it by yourself. Like it's obviously from God. I feel like that's what happens every time I make one of these videos is God's telling, like, just shares just like a short, sweet little sentence with me, and it just fills my heart with such gladness that, like, I want to talk about it. And I guess, I don't know. I'm driving, obviously. I was just driving, and I was thinking about, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, and, I was thinking about this post I saw that was so good. Man, I can't quote it. Basically, it was saying, like, that Martin Luther King Jr., like, in his time, wasn't, like, a peacekeeper. He wasn't, honestly, very well liked. A lot of people, like, if someone like Martin Luther King Jr. was around today, he would still be like shunned and by people, and he was a troublemaker. Martin Luther King Jr. was a troublemaker because he stood for something so good and so powerful that people rejected it. And man, it got me thinking, like, what a guy. Like, honestly, what a guy. Someone that I cannot wait to meet when I get to heaven is Martin Luther King Jr. And like, obviously that gets me thinking about, like, what that mean. That was Jesus. In Jesus' time, when Jesus was alive, that's who Jesus was. People rejected Jesus. Jesus was a troublemaker. You know what I mean? Like, people... You like to think that when Jesus was on the cross, that you wouldn't be one of the ones to mock him. And I'm just thinking about all of this today, like, man, like, how powerful it really is to stand for Jesus. Like, to be a believer in the time that we live in. Because we live in a time, and this isn't news to you, but we live in a time of hate. We live in a time of just, it's all about we live in such, I don't even know how to word this, we live in a time of just selfishness. Everyone's out to get what's best for them, and you know what I mean? And just the people, like the believers out there who people reject because of the message, the truth that they know, which is the gospel. And God just kind of told me today that, and while I'm having all these thoughts, just this sentence popped in my head, and it's, when you stand for Jesus, you stand for everything that is good. And that's true. Because when you stand for Jesus, you stand for justice, and you stand for love, and you stand for forgiveness, and you stand for grace, and you stand for truth. And man, that's just powerful. And it just, man, I have chills just talking about it. It's so, we all want to, I was sitting in church when I heard my pastor say this, but our souls crave meaning. Every soul on planet Earth, whether you believe in the name of Jesus or not, your soul craves something and meaning. Your soul wants to be something. Your soul wants to stand for something. And you usually, everyone does. Everyone stands for something. But there is a huge difference in standing between what is good and truthful and what is just bad and of the world. If you stand for things of this world, you will fall. Because this world is so temporary, and you will have nothing to stand on when it all goes away. But when you stand for Jesus, you are standing for power for eternity. You're standing for grace and truth for eternity. You are standing for justice for eternity. Man, that's power. It's so important to know what you stand for, because I'm sorry, I don't know this quote. I know you've probably heard it so many times, but oh my gosh, what is it? oh, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. I mean, that's a pretty good, I mean, that kind of goes off. Like, Martin Luther King Jr. stood for justice. Again, what a guy. When you stand for the truth of the gospel, you will be rejected. But the thing is the gospel is the greatest news that anyone can ever hear. Like, period. That's also news that a lot of the world rejects because it doesn't fall in line to things that they want to pursue. But I want, this video is supposed to be encouraging. Like, how powerful is it to stand for something that you can't, I mean, it's not physical, you can't hold it, you can't see it, but I mean, how powerful is it to stand for truth? Because even though you can't see those things, you believe in it so much that you're willing to die for it. I mean, that's powerful. I mean, there are Christians all over the world who have died for the name of Jesus. How can you not stand for something that someone died for you to know? I mean, Jesus died for you to know the gospel and to pursue the gospel and to tell it to every nation. I mean, I keep saying the word powerful, but that's powerful. And there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing on this planet that you can stand for that is more powerful than the name of Jesus. And that's good news. Yes, if you take one thing away from this video, take away what Jesus told me today, and that's everything. And when you stand for Jesus, you stand for everything that is good, because everything that is good is Jesus. Forgiveness, love, faith, hope, peace. I could keep listening, but I don't think we have the time. I mean, this video was really random. I just like kind of pulled up at school and I was like, I think I want to turn on the camera. So, yeah, that's all I got. I'm sitting here saying all this. My dad, he's a really cool guy. I love the dude. He gave me these, not 100. He gave me a bunch of, I don't know if you can see, they're a bunch of baseball cards. Like they're from his I don't know what this is, business card. You see his name up there, and they all have verses written on them, and on the back there's the verse. And I have one up in my dashboard, so I can read it when I'm just sitting in my car like this. And it says, let me read it. Therefore, do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. That's crazy. 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18. I'm having a little chuckle because I was going through these cards. I was like, I want to put one up so I can read it. And I don't know, I was just like, this is the one. And this cannot be a more perfect verse for what God is trying to tell me today. Again, 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18. I love, we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. If you stand for the things that are seen, you will fall. But if you stand for the things that are unseen, that's eternal. It says it's eternal glory. God's really cool. I'm just soaking that in. Anyways, that's all I got. Okay. I think someone thinks I'm leaving this spot, so they're waiting on me. So I'll check you later.